You remember, here right common iliac artery, yes? And it gives two branches. External iliac artery, you remember, it leaves pelvic cavity through the vascular space and continues as the femoral artery, which vascularizes structures of the lower limb. Internal iliac artery gives two types of branches, same thoracic and abdominal aorta. Parietal branches and visceral branches. First, parietal. Parietal branches, number 5, iliolumbar artery, please. Iliolumbar artery. It gives spinal branch which goes through the pelvic sacral foramina and to sacral canal and vascularizes terminal phylum of the spinal cord. Next, iliolumbar artery vascularizes psoas major muscle and iliacus muscle of the pelvic girdle. Iliolumbar artery, please, very good, you can see number 5. 6, lateral sacral artery. Lateral sacral artery. It vascularizes also these muscles of the anterior group of the pelvic girdle. 7, superior gluteal artery. It leaves pelvic cavity through the suprapiriform foramen and vascularizes muscles of the posterior group of the pelvic girdle. Gluteus maximus, medius, minimus, piriformis muscle of the posterior group. 14, inferior gluteal artery. It leaves through the infrapiriform foramen, vascularizes muscles of the posterior group, gemellus superior, inferior, obturator externus, and quadratus femoris muscles of the pelvic girdle. Please, very good, you can see inferior gluteal artery. Obturator artery, it goes to obturator canal. You remember, obturator canal transmits obturator artery to veins, same name, and obturator branch of the lumbar plexus. Obturator artery gives branches to hip joint, and next it gives branches to muscles of the medial group of the thigh. That is why medial group, muscles of the medial group of the thigh, arteries from obturator artery and from middle circumflex femoral artery, deep femoral artery. Yes, please, very good, you can see obturator artery. And last parietal branch, umbilical artery. Here specific, please, you can see visceral branch, superior vesical artery arises from parietal. It doesn't arise from internal iliac artery, arises from parietal branch. Please, umbilical artery gives superior vesical artery to urinary bladder. Next, it ascends along anterior wall of the abdomen, vascularizes rectus abdominis muscle, and near umbilicus transforms into umbilical ligament. Yes? You understand parietal branches of the internal iliac artery. First, iliolumbar artery, please, very good, you can see. Second, lateral sacral artery. Third, superior gluteal artery, please. Next, inferior gluteal artery. Next, obturator artery, inferior gluteal here. And umbilical artery. Please remember, it gives superior vesical artery to urinary bladder. It gives a parietal branch, gives visceral branch. Please. Next, visceral branches. You remember organs of the pelvic cavity. Here you can see urinary bladder. That is why you see 13 inferior vesical artery. And you remember, behind urinary bladder in male, what organs? Seminal vesicles, ductus deferens. Below, prostate gland. That is why inferior vesical artery vascularizes seminal vesicles, ductus deferens. Prostate gland, also it vascularizes pelvic part of ureter. You remember, ureter has abdominal part, pelvic and intramural in the wall of the urinary bladder. Inferior vesical artery gives ureteric branches to pelvic part and also vascularizes intramural part of the urinary, of the ureter. Yes? And next it goes to urinary bladder and vascularizes together with superior vesical artery urinary bladder. Next, you remember in female, in pelvic cavity, what organs? Uterus, ovary, uterine tubes, and vagina. That is why internal iliac artery gives 12. Uterine artery continuation. Uterine artery, you remember, it goes between layers of the mesentery of the uterus. Uterus has mesentery, and this artery between layers of mesentery of the uterus, and in mesentery it gives ovarian branches to ovary, tubal branches to uterine tubes, and vaginal branches to vagina. That is why if question arteries of the ovary, you answer ovarian artery, visceral branch of the abdomen, visceral branch of the abdominal aorta, and also ovarian branches of the uterine artery, visceral branch of the internal iliac artery. Yes. Next, you remember rectum in pelvic cavity. That is why internal iliac artery gives middle rectal artery 11. It vascularizes middle part of the rectum. And last, internal pudendal artery. It leaves pelvic cavity through the infrapiriform foramen, next goes back through the less sciatic foramen to ischiorectal fossa, together with two veins, same name, and pudendal nerve branch of the sacral plexus. Yes. And next, it vascularizes muscles of the perineum. Please, very good, you can see ischiorectal fossa here. And in this fossa, in loose fatty tissue, what structures? Internal pudendal artery, two veins, same, and pudendal nerve branch of the sacral plexus. Please remember, because during parapractitis, inflammation, loose fatty tissue in this fossa, you must remove loose fatty tissue. Please remember, here structures, artery, veins, nerves, yes, in this fossa. Please, you understand, internal pudendal artery, it gives inferior rectal artery to lower part of the rectum, muscular branches to muscles of the perineum, and also branches to external genital organs. It vascularizes internal pudendal artery, vascularizes external male genital organs and external female genital organs also. You understand, visceral branches of the internal iliac artery, inferior vesical artery, please, uterine artery, please, uterine artery, middle rectal artery, please, internal pudendal artery, it gives inferior rectal artery, muscular branches to all muscles of the perineum, and dorsal artery of the penis in male to external genital organs, and clitoris artery to external genital organs in female. Yes, that's all. That's all about arteries. Next question, veins of the thoracic cavity. Veins of the thoracic, please, the thoracic cavity. Start.